Hey, what's happening, guys? Quick post-fight review. So, I just got done watching Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Williams. Chris Eubank Jr. beats Liam Williams on a unanimous decision. And I gotta be honest, guys, this was a very, very bizarre fight. It didn't exactly go how I thought it would go. I was picking Eubank to win this fight by a late stoppage. And I thought the fight would be just a little bit competitive, but he would eventually break Liam Williams down and maybe stop him on his feet. This fight didn't go at all the way I expected it to, and it was actually very, very bizarre the way it went. So let me tell you guys how I saw this fight. So, of course, in the first 4 rounds, Eubank scored 3 knockdowns. Every single one of those knockdowns was from a speculative jab, right? So he was just catching Liam Williams on the way in with a jab, and Liam Williams showed atrocious, absolutely atrocious punch resistance. Like, I didn't realise how chinny Liam Williams was. That actually really surprised me because they weren't even hard punches, and it wasn't even like he got caught off balance. It's like he literally just crumbled every time he got hit clean. Then, and the weirdest thing happened, after the 4th round, Eubank just stopped. He stopped, and he did nothing. Literally, I'm talking from the 4th round all the way through to the 12th round, Eubank did nothing. Wasn't throwing any punches, wasn't countering, wasn't backing Liam Williams up, didn't capitalise at all on the knockdowns. And from what I saw, I might get shit for saying this, Liam Williams won every round. Every single round from round 5 through to round 12. I thought Liam Williams clearly won every single one of them. And to me, it was a dreadful performance from Chris Eubank. I thought he got completely outboxed, completely outlanded. I thought he got schooled, if I'm being perfectly honest, from the 5th round on. But the problem is, obviously, you score 3 knockdowns in a fight. He was actually credited with 4 knockdowns because in the 11th round, he sort of dragged Liam Williams behind the head and pulled him to the canvas. But that wasn't really a knockdown. It was a bullshit call by the referee. So he basically was given an extra knockdown. If you get credited with 4 knockdowns in a fight, you're going to get the decision. Right? I've got no issue with him getting the decision, but his performance was disgraceful in terms of what he actually did in the ring because he wasn't even trying to win the rounds. It was as if Eubank knew he was ahead on the cards because of the knockdowns. So he just decided to do nothing. And Liam Williams completely schooled him, completely embarrassed him, completely outboxed, outlanded him. There were rounds in this fight where Eubank didn't throw a punch. And I'm not counting like a speculative like feint or something like that. I'm saying literally he wouldn't throw a punch for multiple rounds of the fight. For the 12th round, Eubank was dancing and Williams was just completely outworking and outlanding him. So this was a pretty shameful display from Chris Eubank, in my opinion. What he should have done was he should have tried to capitalise on the knockdowns and tried to go for the finish. But it seems to me like he got lazy after he scored the 3rd knockdown and he just wanted to run away and spoil and go the distance. And he obviously knew that the judges were on his side because, I mean, look, it's his promoter running the show. You know, he's the guy that this whole boxer event is built around. You know, Sky Sports are obviously heavily invested in him. So they were obviously going to make sure that Eubank won the fight. He was going to get the decision. And this is why people don't like Chris Eubank Jr. You know, he's just not a... He just doesn't really offer anything, does he, to fight fans. He doesn't care what the fight fans think. He's not trying to impress. You know, he's just trying to make money. And, yeah, he'll probably get a big fight off the back of this. But to be perfectly honest, you know, every time he stepped up to fight an actual world-class opponent, he's gotten embarrassed. I mean, he was completely schooled by Billy Joe Saunders, and he got absolutely taken to school by George Groves, and that wasn't prime George Groves, let's be honest. George Groves was on the slide at that point, and he ended up having a bad shoulder injury in the fight. Eubank still couldn't get him out of there. And yeah, it just seems to me like Eubank, the pattern's going to repeat itself. I know he's training with Roy Jones. That's not going to work. Listen, having your hands down and dancing and twerking in the ring, that works against a guy like Liam Williams. That's not going to work against a guy like Jamal Charlo or a Gennady Golovkin. You know, any of the guys that Eubank has been talking about fighting. And using their name for promotion. You know, he's not going to beat those guys with that kind of style. I think Roy Jones is the wrong guy to have in his corner. Like I said, it's fine against the likes of Liam Williams. That's not going to work against a world-class fighter. He's going to get beaten again next time he fights anybody who's world-class. Wasn't impressed. Very unimpressive performance from Eubank Jr. In reality, I mean, if you take away that the fourth knockdown, which shouldn't have been a knockdown, you could make an argument that Liam Williams got a draw. Like, you genuinely could, because he won, in my opinion, he won every round from the fifth round on. So you could potentially argue, I mean, if my maths is correct, if he wins every single round, he could. There's an argument for him getting a draw there, isn't there? So to me, this was an unimpressive performance. Speaking of unimpressive, Otto Wallin on the undercard looked absolutely shamefully bad against Kamil Sokolovsky. I know Kamil Sokolovsky is the type of fighter who, he's a tough journeyman, always comes to win, always comes to fight, and stays in shape. And he's aggressive. He's also a guy who's got a good chin and he can survive. But Otto Wallin came in out of shape and looked as if he was there to spar instead of fight. So very unimpressive performance from him when you consider that he's supposed to be a world level heavyweight. So yeah, all in all, it wasn't a bad card. I already talked about the English title fight on the lower down on the card. I didn't watch the Clarissa Shields fight. I'm not interested in women boxing. Screw that shit. But yeah, Eubank Jr. completely unimpressed. I think that he's going to get found out very soon if he fights a world class opponent again. Would that Eubank Jr. tonight have beaten Billy Joe Saunders? Would that Eubank Jr. tonight have beaten George Groves? I doubt it. I don't think he's improved that much. And in fact, I don't think he's really improved at all. He looked worse, in my opinion. Because, like I said, he didn't win a round after the fourth. And that was just based on Liam Williams' clumsiness and his lack of punch resistance. So, yeah, that's all I've got to say. Very unimpressed. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. I enjoyed the fight nonetheless, though. That's what I will say. It was quite bizarre because, like I said, it didn't go how I expect. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say. I might review the Thurman fight if I can be bothered. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching.